All right, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is the BS Buddies podcast. I'm your host, Ian. This is Joe. And today we've got a wonderful topic for you that fits right in with the lovely flu season we've got coming around the corner diseases. Yeah, I know. That's a lovely random one that everyone likes talking about death and disease.
Yeah. So
Plague Inc.
I think I'm gonna put this in before all the other ones. If you've been watching and listening to this, you know that we record pretty far ahead, but I'm probably gonna do this one a lot sooner. Um, as you can tell by the new microphone, yes, audio does get better. Um, but I was sick last week, which you'll hear eventually, and my voice is just gone. So one of the things I thought of, I'm like, what if we come up with diseases and we do, which if I'm doing this early, we do one on superpowers, which we're gonna be doing the same kind of setup. Um, Lame superpowers, which you should see. I think it's due up next week. But we're gonna do the same kind of style. So if you like this style, you'll love that one because that one was just ridiculous. So the
Goofy.
basis of this is, with our whole podcast, we come up with a topic and then just off the top of our heads, just go pretty much.
Whatever you can. Honestly, this is more ad lib practice than it is a podcast, but it's entertaining for you and it's fun for us, so we're gonna do it. And I just realized since you said that with the whole mic thing, they're gonna see me go from beard to clean shave back to beard again, and that's gonna be very confusing. And they're gonna think the turnaround time on that is like, boom.
Yeah, that it's gonna be a little weird, but that's fine. So basically, Ian and I will just go back and forth. Basically, the top of our heads come up with weird diseases. They can make sense. They don't have to. The weirder, the better. Is basically this podcast, which I've actually, as soon as I thought of the topic, I thought of one.
Just thought of a bad one.
Uh, I'll go with mine first, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
So I thought of the name. I haven't thought of anything else, so everything else is off the top of my head.
All right. Well,
So,
or we could even do this where we come up with a name and then we take turns putting
ooh.
symptoms into it, like Plague Inc. You know what I mean?
So how about we do this? We just come up with a name. I mean, we kind of did it with superpowers too, where we come up with the basis and then the rest we just kind of discuss.
Just let it
Um,
follow. That works for me.
so my first one. You've heard of the common cold? This is the uncommon cold.
Oh God, the
So,
uncommon
yes,
cold.
the uncommon. We're going stupid. Um, let's
And then
see.
you have the rare cold, the ultra rare cold, the
The
platinum cold,
epic cold,
epic cold.
exotic cold for all my Rocket League all the Rocket
Mhm.
Leaguers out there. Um, so we'll go with this. This is, I can't think of the terminology, but you get it. It is an airborne illness, only airborne. So
Only
like,
airborne.
yep, only like you
So
can.
someone with the cold can spit on your sandwich and you're a-okay, but breathe a little too close to them, and
Yes,
heaven forbid you better start
exactly.
praying.
We're going stupid with this again, just
It's
like
only
last
air
time.
he can spit
The
in my mouth, it'll be all right.
the symptoms. We'll go with you salivate a lot more. Um,
That's how it's Oh god, wait a minute.
um,
So it's only airborne, but it makes you salivate more. All right, off to a great
yes.
start.
We'll go
It
if
makes your ears pop constantly.
your nose is plugged. It's not runny, it's plugged. That's why it's uncommon for a cold to
It's
do
not a
this.
you have to be a mouth breather the whole time. That's how it spreads. You got to be a mouth breather, just everywhere you fucking go. Oh god.
And we'll say you also sweat a lot more. So,
Super like way it looks like you just got done running a 5K. Anyone who shakes your hand, it just whoop right through like and you missed, and you
Hmm.
like punched them in the leg or something because you're so
Yes.
sweaty. You try and
Yes.
lay down into bed, you just slide right out of bed.
So, what would the cure be? Is there gonna be a cure?
We could do a cure. The
Um,
cure
we
is
gotta.
the cinnamon
I,
challenge. You remember the cinnamon challenge? The cure is you have to take a spoonful of cinnamon and you have to get at least half of it down your throat before you inevitably
ooh,
cough and
I thought
blow
of
it everywhere.
I thought of something a little different. I'm adding to it a little.
All right.
A cinnamon banana is the home remedy. You dunk
Cinnamon.
a banana in cinnamon.
Unironically, I would love that. I would actually go eat that right now. I'm got
Well,
bananas in the kitchen and cinnamon.
I
I'm
know
good. I'm set.
whenever we start, when we get together next and we do some videos for this, like we should do that. Just a weird food combo.
Weird food combos that we can try and say, hey, look,
we
peanut butter banana, that's a winner right
we
there. I
have
will swear by
contracted
that.
the uncommon cold, so we
We
need
we need a
a
cinnamon
cinnamon
banana.
banana.
We need a cinnamon banana.
Oh, this is
Yeah, we need a spicy nanner. A cinnamon nanner.
okay.
All
Well,
right. All
so
right.
you
Well,
contract it. Well, just do a recap. You contract it through the air, only the air. You salivate more, your nose is plugged, your ears pop, you sweat, and you need a cinnamon banana to help it go away.
hell yeah. All right. So we got disease number 1 on the board, or sickness number 1 on the board, the uncommon cold. All right. So I've got this is terrible. This is more of an well, inconvenience than a
Okay.
sickness. At least
Okay.
I don't have a name for it, but I know
Oh,
that
here we go. I'm ready.
the the symptom when you get it. All right, this is starting out, so we can definitely add on to this. The symptom: every time you sneeze, you're blowing fat snot rockets everywhere. Like you can't help it. It's just like it's a chew, and it looks like chemical warfare all over your desk. Like legally, you should not be allowed to
I
leave your
thought of a
house if you
name.
have this. I was thinking the loogie boogie, but
Oh,
like,
I
give
was
me
thinking like a polysis.
a pause.
Like Apollo, snot rockets, Apollysis.
Oh, or we could just call it the trench sweeper. My God, I've been shotgunned, and that is specifically how it spreads. By the way, the snot rocket shoots onto somebody else.
You
That
get hit.
you get hit, and then you just immediately wherever you are, instantly sick. There's no what do they call that? Percolating? Not percolating. Not refract. What do they call that in between the dead space between when you actually get infected and when you show symptoms?
Dude,
Incubatory. Incubatory. That's the word I'm looking. There's no incubation period. You go right. Like you could be standing in the aisle and you hear someone like 6 feet down from you just, and you're like, huh, what? Ew. And then immediately you're right. Like there's no stopping this train. God forbid it ever break out at a grocery store or a that whole building is just getting lit up like a Christmas tree.
so I thought of something else. How long does this sickness last?
Ooh, how long does it last? I'm gonna give this one 2 days. It's a
2
very
days.
short turnaround. However, it's also very easy to infect people because you're just
Okay.
constantly like. And I should keep in mind that these snot rockets, these loogie boogies, these nasty nasal creations are not your typical little like, ooh, pick my nose, there it is on my thumb, or oh, I sneezed and it's whatever.
It's
I'm
in the
talking
shape
like
of a missile.
looks like Spider-Man is in your nose, flinging webs out of your nose, just like it's like a and like you could almost sneeze across the room and grab a can of Dr. Pepper or some shit with this, like oh, and then just whip your head real quick the other direction, and boom, you got it.
So, Apollysis, otherwise more commonly known as the loogie boogie.
The
How
loogie boogie.
how do you cure such a disease? Or
How do you
is there
cure
no
such?
cure since they don't care because it's a 2-day turnaround.
It's a 2-day turnaround on that one, so I'm going to say there is no specific cure, but you can put nose plugs in your nose to prevent the rockets.
That would be a
It only
bullet. You just made a bullet.
No, because here's the thing: if you plug your nose, it just comes out your ears.
Oh, that's disgusting. What if you plug your
um,
ears?
plug your ears and your nose, you shit yourself.
Okay.
Straight up, you just shit yourself. That's...
I was gonna say, if someone has that and they plug their nose with
and like
metal,
violently.
like they will get a homicide charge. Straight up.
A weapon to surpass Metal Gear. And it's just like a bullet that's going like twice the speed of sound and off in the direction of wherever the fuck it's going.
Yeah, that's...
But if you shit yourself, it's gonna be like you've seen Incredibles 2, right?
Once at least.
You remember when Mr. Incredible is holding Jack and he's laughing and then Jack just like and like fills his diaper up like
I do
like
not
that?
remember that. It's been a while, but
Oh, well,
it's like that.
go look up the scene so you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, for anybody who's watching or listening who knows what I'm talking about, that's the level of fill your pants up that we're talking about. Just whoop, and you're full. Like, might as well wear a diaper. 2-day turnaround, you got to plug your nose and ears and wear a diaper. This is a horrible disease.
If you want. I mean, that's just...
Well, yeah, you could just go around and be a dick. And I will say this, outside of the snot rockets, physically you're fine. There's no like you don't feel sick or nothing like that. It's just you have horrific sneezes.
I thought of another one some other time that I thought was hilarious, but I cannot remember it. We'll go with FFD.
FFD.
Fat foot disease.
Fat foot disease. Oh boy.
So I haven't thought of the specifics. But your foot gets it's half the size bigger. Whatever the math is for that.
So times 1.5.
Yes.
Your foot size times 1.5.
Just width-wise, not lengthwise, just width.
Not widthwise. So it just slowly gets wider and wider and wider until you need to be walking on like a 2x12 that you fashioned into a sandal. No, okay. Here's the question: does it get wider like evenly? Like, does it grow left and right, or does like it only grow to the outside of the foot? So like you're walking around with clawed humpers and like you could kick a car from 6 feet away.
So we'll go with your foot does get wider, and if it is not treated, you will... I want to explain my thought without being absolutely disgusting, but I don't think I'll be able to. You get like bulbs on your feet.
Oh, okay,
Because
like a
of all the...
callus kind of? Like a blister?
Yeah, more like a blister. Like, cuz there's so much like fluid buildup. But they're like perfect balls of just fluid all over.
And if you wait
If
too
it
long to
goes
treat this disease, does your foot get like all that saggy skin? Like when people get like lipo... like when people get the like a lipo...
I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah, that sounds awful.
If you let it go on too long and they treat it, then your foot gets all that saggy skin. Then you gotta like wrap it around your foot. And look at there, homegrown sock.
Oh, I was thinking like you lay on your back in the summer, put your feet up in the air, then you made a kite. But that's...
you just hold it up and you can hear your foot just in the wind.
I'm glad your mic did not pick that up because I did not need a sound effect.
You didn't need a sound visual for that? Well, come on, I'm so good at those though.
Okay. So obviously, like, you need to get this checked out because we already went through if you don't get it checked out, you're gonna have new socks basically.
Yeah, you're gonna have to buy like size 23 socks for the rest of your life. And tuck all that extra skin in.
So you got to go to the doctor. But what does the doctor do? Well, funny you should ask.
Oh no.
Because I'm trying to figure it out.
Funny you should ask. Because I don't even know. Let's see. They give you clown shoes.
Wait. I got it. They put Vaseline and also peanut butter on your foot.
Ooh,
and put a regular sock. If they use a compression sock, the fungus or whatever the hell it is goes up to your knee, and then it affects your knee. You cannot compress this. If you compress it, it'll just find a different host.
It'll just travel up your body. Oh, that is horrific. Can you imagine being that first poor soul who had a compression sock on him? He comes back in like a week later, Doc, I don't know what's going on, and his knee looks like a nutsack. Like, dude, that's horrific. That'd be terrible. Poor bastard.
I wasn't expecting to hear that sentence tonight.
There's a lot of things you weren't. Oh, and you know what?
I love this podcast.
Just for the funsies, Vaseline peanut butter, and then you have to drink half a bottle of Pepto-Bismol too. Just because I feel like that would be hilarious to throw in there. You got to drink half a bottle of Pepto-Bismol. Upset stomach, diarrhea. You got to add fat foot into that little jingle.
We got to back up just a little bit.
Bring it back.
We don't want to OD on the Pepto.
Okay, quarter of a bottle. And we'll say within 2 hours. That's reasonable.
I don't think it is.
I mean, I got a bottle of Pepto-Bismol right here. Quarter bottle? You could do a quarter of that in 2 hours.
Not sponsored. We'd take the sponsor, but not sponsored.
They're not worried about it. We're telling people to go drink Pepto-Bismol to treat fake foot diseases.
And peanut butter on your foot and drink Pepto.
I would just like to say that putting on the sock filled with Vaseline and peanut butter would be such an unpleasant experience because both of those are compounds that don't mix nicely. Vaseline is oil-based and peanut butter is peanut butter. It doesn't mix with anything. So you just have this glob of what looks like...
You need to put on a sock. You cannot get out of putting...
You have to have the sock on.
You have to have the sock on. And if you put a compression sock on, that's just going up to your knee.
And then your kneecap. I'm not going to repeat it. I'm not going to repeat it. I want to, though. It was funny. But, like, that'd be gross. That'd be so gross putting on a sock filled with that crap. Because if you did manage to get the peanut butter and Vaseline to mix, it would look like you just reached your hand down into like a fresh cow pie from the frickin' pasture and shoved that in your sock. What are you wearing? I'm wearing the poop sock. Like, dude. Okay.
I say you have to have it on. Because I didn't even think about that. You have to have it on for an hour, once a day for 3 days.
Okay. I could do that. Because then at least you can be at home and avoid the shame of walking out in Walmart everywhere you go, taking a step like...
just
like, what is that sound? Yeah, everyone just hearing the squishing.
I got FFD.
I got FFD. Do you or a loved one have FFD? Have you worn the peanut butter Vaseline sock? You might be entitled to financial compensation.
So before Ian goes on to his, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you so much.
I can't. I wanted to say something snarky like I don't, but honest to God, yeah, if you made it this far.
If you made it this far, you're a trooper. But this is just some of the weird stuff we come up with, and I'm sure it's not going to get any better from here.
It's all a downhill
Like,
spiral.
it's
Honestly,
all for comedy.
this show peaked at the first episode,
I want
and
to
the
say
rest of it
second
was
episode because my audio was so bad in the first one.
all right. Peaked at the second one, and it's all a downhill slope from there. From there,
But,
here, there, everywhere, wherever.
but honestly, appreciate you listening, especially when we talk about weird, gross stuff like this for absolutely no reason.
It's a lot of
our
fun
Monday.
because then you get to weed out and find out, okay, who thinks like this and who's normal.
Okay, I think we have time for one more disease if you got something.
One more. All right, I do have something, and I thought of this because it plays into the knee thing, kind of. It's called DIRCA. Degenerative Regenerative Knee Affliction. DIRCA. All right. Now, this is a disease that over the course
hold on. You're missing a C or a K there, buddy.
No. Just it's I mean, the acronym is DRKA, so DIRCA. Degenerative Regenerative Knee Affliction. DIRCA.
Oh wow, I'm stupid.
However you want to say it.
I didn't
DIRCA.
think of the knee as the K.
As the K. You're thinking Derna?
I'm
the hell
I'm
is
still
Derna?
on the frickin' peanut butter Vaseline sock, I guess.
All right. That's okay, because this one will take your mind off of it. Yeah, DIRCA. Okay, so over the course of 2 weeks, right? The first week, your kneecap, we're going to say this is one knee at a time. It can affect both at once, but typically one knee at a time. I don't know why I'm getting that specific about this.
In rare cases, it can affect
In rare cases, both, but usually one knee. Over the course of 1 week, the first week, your knee, the joint, the hinge, the kneecap, the patella, ACL, and everything else, however all that fits in there, will degenerate, right? It'll just like erode and wear away. The second week, it will regrow on the back side of your leg. So now your leg has flipped directions. Instead of it bending at the joint backwards, it now bends at the joint forwards. So you look like a frickin', like you got goat legs or something like that. And the treatment process for this, I'm going to say that it's...
Hold on, let's back up.
We're gonna go through symptoms.
No, that's a symptom in itself. Which I forgot to do on FFD. But how do you get this? Or does it just kind of happen?
Well, you did say fungal, so I'm going to go with it really like super untreated athlete's foot.
For this?
No, not this. Your FFD.
Okay. Just... Yeah, let's just... Because I want to figure out how you get DIRCA. Now I'm interested.
Now you're interested in how you
contract DIRCA.
So, DIRCA is contracted. What would be a good way to contract
Black
DIRCA?
tar heroin.
Black tar heroin.
It's a side effect.
God.
Hey, that made you think though.
Oh yeah, something. I had a whole bunch of ideas.
Do you have DIRCA right now? Because I see you looking down.
I'm looking at my knee. I do currently. I have my knee out. I'm currently looking at it. Oh, you know what? Okay. So, have you ever? Because I have. I've done this. Me. Yes, I have. Have you ever been like bouncing your leg under a table or something? You had a pen or a pencil on your leg, and you bounced your knee up just a little too high, and you stabbed yourself with a pen or a pencil.
That's how
I'm gonna say we're gonna treat it like shingles. If you've ever done that, the disease is already inside you. It just
that's awful.
Picks at random. So you may never get it. You may never get it, or it might happen tomorrow. You don't know.
This is completely made up, and I'm worried I have it.
I I can still see a spot of lead in my knee where I stabbed myself with a pencil back in high school. To this day, it still sits there. There's no way I could show it to the camera, but it's there. I promise it's there.
Okay. Cure is there.
Now you're thinking about it, and it's making you ugh.
Yeah.
And okay, so now I'm gonna say that there is no pain associated with this disease, right? And you'll
There's
start to notice it. Yeah, well, because we're gonna say that
but
it acts like it's so when the disease, right, it blocks the pain receptors because it's eating away at your knee. Obviously, it needs to eat away at your knee, otherwise you wouldn't. So the only way you really like notice you have it is about like day 3 or so. Your leg is really stiff and hard to bend. And then by like day 5, suddenly your leg is like a freaking noodle, just like swinging back and forth. And then, by
but
like day 7 or 8, it's getting a little bit stiffer again, except, well, this is weird. My leg seems to bend the other way. Like, what's going on here? I can contract my leg and like kick myself in the face. Like, I could literally eat my own heel if I wanted. And then by the end of that 2 weeks, your leg is completely formed backwards.
but how wouldn't you feel your knee like practically decomposing?
Oh, there would be aches. Like there would be aches like, "Oh man, my leg is really sore today," but it wouldn't be like a targeted like, "Oh my god, my knee is degrading." It would just be like, my leg's a little sore today. Must have slept on it
So
wrong."
so is there a cure?
There is a cure.
If
However,
you go in
you
soon enough
have
to be
to
seen?
yes, you have to go in before it starts growing on the back side of your leg. If you make it in before then they can stop the growth and they can replace your knee and all that parts because they like reverse engineer the degenerative. But if you let it grow all the way through and your leg is formed backwards, well, I guess you better figure out how to walk with one good leg and one bum leg. It's just the way it is. This is a terrible
Okay.
disease. I wouldn't wish anybody to
Yeah,
ever get.
I'm glad you went worse than mine. And I didn't
Oh,
expect that.
we had to end it on a bang. I figured we had some pretty nice mild ones that were funsies, and then I figured, well, we got to have a terrible one. But like, it's not
Okay.
like so terrible, like it's unworkable.
Oh,
Like,
it's terrible. It is awful.
what do you
Your
mean?
knee
Think
could be
you
back your leg could be backwards halfway down.
yeah, but like, just think, like, dude, you could sit down at a table and you could just like swing your leg up and like you could just rest your head and still have free use of your hands. Are you kidding me? What a winner.
I'm moving on to quotes.
Okay, that's fair. I'll accept that.
The deal Ian and I usually have is whoever does the intro does quote second. Um, so I will go with my quote first, which I have it from. It's backwards, but Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I flipped to a random page, and what I have underlined is you should know all of your weaknesses in order that you may either bridge them or eliminate them entirely. You should know your strength in order that you may call attention to it when selling your services.
That's a good one. Uh,
Honestly, for any bookworms out there, this is one of the best books I've ever read. I want to reread it. Highly recommend.
Interesting. I need to get back into reading. It's been a while since I've read a good book.
I
Problem
fi-
is, once I start reading, I fly through them and I'm done with a whole library in like 2 weeks.
I finished
Sucks.
a book today and it made me really sad.
Yeah. It's
It
always
wasn't the
sad
end
when
of the series, but I can talk about it after the video because
gotcha.
we're getting to a half hour.
Oh, holy schmoly. All right, well, let me give mine, which actually ties into yours quite well. This quote is by Oscar Wilde, at least as far as the little magic circle box tells me. Experience is the name we give to our mistakes.
Solid.
That's a good lesson. There's a lot of mistakes that happen, but
I mean,
experience comes from that.
even though I want to point out we are not doctors. We do not have degrees of any sort.
If anyone
So,
got to the end of this video and their final conclusion was, ah, yes, they must be doctors, bro, you might want to go see an actual doctor, because I don't know how you reach that conclusion.
and recommend our videos to that doctor. But thank you guys for listening.
don't.
If you made it this far, we appreciate you.
Always.
Thank you for BSing with us, as always. Subscribe, follow, like to become a bud today. Comment down below if you have any topics you want us to hit for absolutely no reason at all. We will probably do them because this is way too much fun. We will see you next time when I get all these diseases out of my brain.
And we've forgotten all about them, please.
Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Take her easy now.